Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I like the boys. Do you like the boys? Cool. I understand it's satire, but when the writer, showrunner, basically creator of the boys, not the creator, but the creator of the boys adaptation, comes out and says, yeah, I do have an agenda, and if you don't like it, go watch something else. And yes, the boys is about Trump. It's just like, oh God, really? It's just so boring. You just age the show instantly. And you just disconnect about 50% of America and the rest of the world. Like, people are just like, this is shit. Why are you doing that? So this is an interview with the Hollywood Reporter. I thought we'd take a look at it. Definitely, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it won't stop my enjoyment of the show, but I do judge the creator for these comments because I just think it's lazy. It's plain lazy. So hit subscribe if you're new here, guys. Turn the bell notifications on. But let's dive into this, shall we? And this is the issue. It always ages a show. Again, literally, straight away. For Eric Kripke, the boys was always about Trumpism. Why? Why? Why is it about Trump? Because you got Trump derangement syndrome. You're an absolute lunatic. Like, you've got his knob so far down your throat, you're choking on it. It's just crazy. As the showrunner grows his darkly comic satire into a franchise and spoofs a certain trial and presidential election in the new season, he says he's fine losing the viewers who just figured out his social agenda. Go watch something else. You know what though, mate? You probably will lose viewers, and that's not smart. So, like I said, it's just an interview, but I saw it and I was like, this is not good. This season of The Boys, he's asked, features a presidential race being undermined by fascist forces. Coincidence or good timing? Isn't it funny how these people always frame this stuff? Normally, what you're calling people, you're probably yourself, aren't you? And it's a bit of projection. We were already heading there anyway, but we're talking about an election and a president, and when the votes are counted in Congress, it's odd to call it good luck, but sometimes we feel like we're Satan's writing room. Was that always your intent? When Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg and I took it out to pitch, it was 2016, we just wanted to do a very realistic version of a superhero show, one where superheroes are celebrities behaving badly. Trump was the he's not really going to get the nomination, is he, guy? And when he got elected, we had a metaphor that said more about the current world. Literally the whole show is essentially about Trump. So lame. Suddenly we were telling a story about the intersection of celebrity and authoritarianism and how social media and entertainment are useful to sell fascism. Yeah, kind of like mainstream media clamping down on external people that don't parrot the party line. It's a bit fascistic, isn't it? Little bit. We're right in the eye of the storm, and once we realised that, I just felt an obligation to run in that direction as far as we could. So literally the show is about Trump. That his own words. That's what he's saying. They're very different series, but sometimes The Boys, prescience or parallels to current events, reminds me of Homeland. It's happened now almost every season, and we write them sometimes close to 2 years before they air, and again, we'll find that the news is accurately reflecting whatever we're talking about. It's not a spoiler to say that the first episode of Season 4, Homelander, is on trial. A big concern is, can you convict someone that powerful of a crime? And what does that mean for the various supporters or the people protesting him? Did I know it was going to come out during Trump's trial? Of course not. But we write what we're either scared of or pissed off about. It's literally just writing about Trump. Because he's annoyed. Someone asked me last year about Season 3. How are you so prescient with cops and over-policing in black neighbourhoods? Well, it's been a problem for over 100 years. It was a problem 5 years ago, and unfortunately, it's going to be a problem 5 years from now. It's always the same shit. I mean, I'm just going to go... I mean, maybe... Just going to say maybe... If those neighbourhoods weren't so crime-ridden, they wouldn't be over-policed. Maybe. Maybe they're not policed enough. Because they're so crime-ridden. Maybe. Maybe. How did you digest the uglier reaction to that? I saw multiple headlines with the word woke in them. I clearly have a perspective, and I'm not shy about putting that perspective in the show. Anyone who wants to call the show woke or whatever, that's okay. Go watch something else. But I'm certainly not going to pull any punches or apologise for what we're doing. Some people who watch it think Homelander is the hero. What do you say to that? The show's many things. Subtle isn't one of them. So if that's the message you're getting from it, I just throw up my hands. Do you think that satire on film and television can really influence anything? Or is it just catharsis for the people who make and watch it? It's catharsis. I have no illusions about my job. I'm somewhere between a carny and a court jester. I'm not particularly up my own arse. Could have fooled me. So I don't know if it'll ever change minds. If it does, that'll be fantastic. I'm a big proponent of genre, good genre, which doesn't get enough respect. Through the metaphor of superheroes or space or whatever, you can say subversive things that you'd never get away with in most straight dramas. I just think this is bitterly disappointing. So he also says this: there's a version of this show that could be quite cynical. What's your big picture, worldview? Are you an optimist or a pessimist? I'm a humanist. I think it's important that a show have a lot of heart. We took great pains to create the moral universe of this show. I'm not nihilistic, as much as people say it is. It's not nihilistic, sorry. If the show had a message, it's that anyone who stands in front of you and says they can save the world is lying. Sounds pretty pessimistic to me, but alright. This guy. Trump derangement syndrome. Made the whole thing about Trump. And then they start talking about adverts and how now they're getting adverts and how because he's anti-capitalist and the show's anti-capitalist, he doesn't want to do adverts, but he understands. This is just, it's drivel, is what it is. Like, it really is just drivel. You're a fan of many things, but you're also poking a lot of fun at fandom in your work. How do you reconcile the two impulses? I'm not ridiculing fans. God knows my supernatural fan base is a massive, loving and terrifying force. I don't dare cross them. And I'm grateful for their existence, but The Boys is about people that are fans of politicians or demagogues or movements. Even then, to me, the problem isn't the followers. The problem is the leaders manipulating people shamelessly to solidify their own power, to the point where it's worth it to rip the country apart for the gain of a couple fragile egos, a couple corporations, and a couple billionaires. The regular person is out the F-gun. But that applies to the left as well. What are you doing? This is how you just lose all respect at this point. It's just absurd. It really is. There you go. The Boys is about Trump, and he doesn't care if you don't watch it. In fact, go watch something else, he says.